This is Zac and Katrina. And this is the house that Zac and Katrina built, a 2-bedroom passive solar house sited on a gently sloping block in South Hobart. It only took them 366 days to complete.
When it came to starting the garden, we were completely overwhelmed. It was a blank slate and we just didn't know where to start. The two of us were decision fatigued.
It's clear that Kat and Zac need a little bit of help with their garden, and that's why I've organised them a Permablitz. A Permablitz is a volunteer field working bee aimed at transforming a blank canvas into a thriving food garden. At a blitz, complete strangers and old friends come together to work, plant, share, learn and have fun. Once you've helped out on 3 Permablitzes, you can qualify to have a blitz in your own garden. While Kat and Zac have covered all the materials here today, we've got everybody else volunteering their time, their expertise, all their knowledge for free. We've got Anton, my husband, running the blitz today, my daughter Frida creating beautiful chaos, and I've taken care of the design. We've gone about this design by analysing Kat and Zac's needs. What do they actually want and desire in a landscape? And then we've worked backwards from there. So permaculture gardens are a little bit different to other gardens, and some of the key differences is that they have a very productive element to them. So lots of food in there of all types and sorts. This design is for a small urban backyard. So we've just got around 2 zones in here. Zone 1 is this area directly around the house, and that's where all the herbs and salad greens and annual veggies that you need a lot will go. And Zone 2 is basically the rest of the property, and that's where you'll see bulk annual vegetables, lots of fruit trees, some native trees and chickens, and one day goats. Everything makes sense and everything talks to everything else in that design. Nothing's random, it's all very integrated. So yesterday, Anton and I did a bit of rough earthworks here just to get it started, because this particular soil is compacted, it's hungry, it's sad basically. It needs a lot of aerating and love. Today we'll use people power to finesse that, and luckily here they all come now. It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning and we're ready to get going.
Hi everybody. So my name's Anton, welcome to Kat and Zac's Permablitz. Now, it might not look like it yet, but there's going to be an edible garden by the end of this.
All this beautiful topsoil is coming into these beds right here. This is where we'll plant all our herbs, so rosemary, thyme and oregano, really close to the kitchen. So all you have to do is come out and walk maybe 5 metres to get what you need. How are you going down here with this glamorous job?
Oh, yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah?
Lovely time.
Lovely. So here I'm using my favourite tool, the rake hoe. All I'm doing is shaping the annual veggie beds and defining where the pathway will go. Eventually we're going to pull all that dirt over and extend it to make it longer, because the more veggie bed you have, the better, obviously. It's 11:45 and we are going gangbusters. We've got the kitchen garden beds full and ready for planting. We've got compost being added to the beds down below. All we have to do now is add the wood chip pathways and get the orchard and native garden beds ready for planting.
Oh wow, what's that?
A range of pumpkin soups. They're both delicious. I've tried them both. The best thing about people chatting at lunch is that you find out weird and wonderful things. You end up meeting people who are expert bonsai manicurists or a fantastic local mechanic, and also just make new friends, which is always a bonus. This might look a bit boring and a bit strange, but it's actually an incredibly important part of the process of building today's garden. What these folks are doing is ripping all the sticky tape off the cardboard so it can be laid onto the ground and have a thick layer of wood chips put on top of that to form the pathways. And all those wood chips and the cardboard attract fungus and soil biology into the system and help build good soil eventually. And it holds on to water. It's amazing. You should all do it. I'll run my shoulders. Yeah, there we go. Bit of casual gardening. It's for all the parents out there. You can do it.
This soil we've been working with comes from mudstone, and it's a real fine, powdery soil that's pretty depleted in nutrients. To take care of that situation, we're planting what we call a green manure crop.
The good thing about green manures is that you're actually feeding the soil as opposed to feeding people. Right now, though, Anton's feeding the people with some great information.
In spring, we cut it down and incorporate the green manure back to the soil.
We've come to the end of day one of our Permablitz, and we're really happy with what we've done. What used to be lawn behind me has now been completely transformed into what will be one day a pumping food garden. And tomorrow we're coming back to do the best bit, planting.
Last night when we
believe it.
finished, we just sat on the deck and looked at all the work that was done, and we just couldn't believe it. It's a complete transformation.
How long do you think it would take you to do what we did yesterday in one day by yourselves?
We were talking about last night. We tried to do some maths around it, and we reckon it would probably be 300 or 400 hours if it was one person doing it.
Today we've got a broad selection of plants we're putting into the garden. We've got everything from some natives, we've got some pink woolly tea tree over here, some creeping boobiella, we've got a gorgeous Tasmanian waratah as well, which is special. And then we've got lots and lots of edible herbs like oregano, rosemary, sages, lemon balm, lemon verbena, all the good stuff. It's really important to think about what kind of spot your plants will thrive in. So think about your different microclimates. Find where it's hot, where it's cold, where it's moist and where it's dry, and match the plants accordingly, and then they're going to have a great time. So what we want to work out is where do you want those annual greens that will come and go, and then where do you want all these perennial herbs to be fixed in one place forever. You've got to get it right.
What did we talk about, Zac? I kind of
Maybe
wanted
not.
to have something that was visually green there so it doesn't look too bare.
What I'm trying to do is keep these two big terraces available for bulk crops, annual crops, which you need to treat in the same way.
Yeah.
So you weed the same way, you harvest the same way, and it's not something in the middle that you have to work around.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to achieve by consolidating the things.
Nice done, Piggy.
What brought you here today, Mary?
Oh, Zac and Kat. Yeah. And this amazing place that they've built. Yeah. No, just friendship and community.
Why do you want to help them?
Because they're nice people,
Yeah.
community. They have a beautiful space, and it's nice to see that grow more.
I think just love working in the garden, yeah, and helping friends.
Have you ever been to a Permablitz before?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah. What's your impression so far? What do you think of Permablitzes?
It's really fantastic. Like, we're all here together, you know, makes it easy work. Time for a chat.
Yeah, exactly, and community.
The food forest is a perennial food system with 7 layers, and the layers start with a really tall canopy tree, a small tree, the shrub layer, herbaceous layer, ground cover, root crop and a vine layer. But you only have to have at least 3 to qualify as a food forest. And the idea is that every single layer is productive, and that's what we're going to be doing a mini version of here.
Down here at the bottom of the garden, we're going to build a 3-bay composting system. It's a really good point. It's halfway between the garden and the chooks. Chooks and compost go really well together.
Just want to thank everyone so much. We could not have done this much without everyone here, without Hannah and Anton helping us out, telling us what to do and what makes sense and what not to do.
I love doing permablitzes, and sometimes people go, what do you get from doing all this work, Hannah? Because there's a lot of hours that go into the day before the actual day happens. But there's nothing like the joy of people's faces from having new gardens in their homes, and I get huge joy from transforming a pretty unproductive lawnscape into a foodscape. There is nothing better. It is the most satisfying thing in the world.